Number one, nobody knows what the contents of the BBI reports so far. We will only know it once it's presented to the president later this week. But as a national figure who has been very, very consistent on the mode of government that Kenya should take in the future, my position since 2005 referendum was that we adopt a parliamentary system as was envisaged in the Boma's draft. That was rejected in Naivasha. And why do I say so? And this is my opinion. I'll sell this to the Jubilee party, rank and file, if that opportunity comes. We have tested the presidential system of government since independence. And we have reached a stage where we should now evaluate that system. And two of the major things that that system has produced is, one, personality in the political system, personality cult in the political system, and ethnic politics in our system. What gave birth to the BBI was in 2007 we had a post-election violence. In 2013, Kenyans died. The election results was disputed. In 2017, it was worse. The leader of the opposition went to Uhuru Park and, contrary to the constitution, saw himself as a second president. And that's why the president, Uhuru Kenyatta, felt that this is not good for Kenya, it's not good for the economy, it's not good for a cohesive, united Kenya. So that gave birth to BBI. So how do we stop this personality cult? And I'll give you an example. If today former Prime Minister Raila Odinga leaves ODM, ODM will be dead, and people will go to the next party that he will form. Today, President Uhuru Kenyatta, whether you like it or not, is secondary in the Jubilee party. So the position of President Uhuru Kenyatta in Jubilee party is important. So you see, there is personalities. We go to elections with the personalities. We go to elections with our ethnic blocks. If two of the 5 major tribes in this country form a coalition, then the rest of us, we become subjects. We become their subjects. And that's why I say, for us to have peace, for us to have unity, let us go a pure parliamentary West model system where the contest will be at the constituency level. Kenyans don't fight over the governor's position. They don't fight over the senator and the women rep and the member of parliament and the MCA. The ethnic war in our country, and that brought post-election violence, and winner takes it all, is because our politics is ethnic. The election is between 2 or 3 major tribes. The election is on personalities. People vote for Uhuru Kenyatta, they vote for Raila Odinga. So that is the architecture of our politics. And as a leader, a senior leader in the Kenyan political hierarchy, I am entitled to my opinion for the future generations, what is good for Kenya. Those who are saying one man, one vote, the map of Kenya as it is today is defined by the land size. Kenya is composed of both, in terms of definition, the land and the people. So if you have the people and the other group have the land, then, and that's why the Constitution, in the delimitation of constituencies, talks about you must consider land and you must consider population. For example, in North Horr, that member of parliament's constituency is 33,000 square kilometer. Mvita constituency is 15 square kilometer. Kamkunji constituency in Nairobi is 25 square kilometer. So leadership is about how you reach your voters. How does the 33,000... So those who are telling us one man, one vote, fine. We will tell you 1 kilometer, 1 vote. And this is what I said in 2015. Kenya belongs to all of us. But if we go parliamentary, and I want now to talk to my colleagues in Mount Kenya, if we agree on a parliamentary system, then we will, before we even adopt the parliamentary system, we will do what is called proportional representation. There are certain constituencies and regions that will get extra constituencies. So please don't just panic. We will do what is called proportional representation. There are certain regions, for example, Kakamega County, Kiambu County, with a huge population, their constituencies will be proportionally be increased so that nobody is disadvantaged in a parliamentary system. The way in a presidential system of government, majority of us are disadvantaged by this so-called tyranny of numbers. So if you feel parliamentary system of government will disadvantage your region or your community, I am telling you for free, the presidential system of government and the tyranny of numbers is disadvantaging over 38 smaller communities in this country. So we must have a system that will give equal access to resources, to political power for every community, small or big. The El Molo will have a place, the Gabra will have a place, the big tribes will have a place on the table of decision making. So I think the genesis of BBI was to make sure that how do we stop this perennial political system that takes Kenya to the brink of ethnic catastrophe every 5 years. It affects our economy, it affects our nationhood, it affects our cohesiveness, it affects our unity, it affects our brotherhood. In that case, let us relook at this old presidential system of government, which we have tried, but now we see it is not helping us. Look at even, and I want people to read the 1964 parliamentary system of the late Mzee Kenyatta, where we had a parliamentary system. He was a prime minister, and there were 8 regions. Kenya was more stable at the beginning, but today, I can tell you without any fear of contradiction that whether BBI recommends a parliamentary system or not, or this presidential system of government is the system that doesn't have good accountability, where the 3 arms of government are independently working on their own. This system is the one that breeds corruption. This system is the one that gives economic power to certain regions. This is a system that divides us into our ethnic blocks and regional blocks. We want a system where the CEO of the country comes to the legislature, comes to parliament, and answer questions on behalf of the people representative. We want a system where the prime minister and his government, if they don't deliver on their manifesto as a party, the House can have a power to sack that prime minister. So those of us who are saying that a presidential system of government is not good for the country, is going to bring instability, no. And I want to give for free countries that have got complex ethnic configuration, like Kenya. Look at Ethiopia. Very complex. To bring together the Oromo, the Tigray, the Amhara, the Somali region, they've decided to go parliamentary system, where today a minority politician can harness his talent and capacity within his party, and they can say, yes, he is from the minority, but he has the capacity and the talent to lead our party, and we make him the prime minister. Today, I sit in this office not because of the tyranny of numbers. I sit in this office because the party leader of Jubilee, President Uhuru Kenyatta, and the deputy party leader of Jubilee, and the rank and the file of the Jubilee membership, both in the House and outside, felt two things. One, that we give it to Honorable Duale because he has the capacity and the talent. Two, we must have the face of Kenya. So even those who are saying that I am sitting in this office because of their numbers, I am telling them, you are lost. We are part and parcel. That's why Jubilee, folded 14 parties to have one party and to have a national party with a national image, with a national ethos. So I have been very consistent since I joined politics. I was a proponent of the Bomas draft, and I am ready even to convince the rank and the file. I just spoke to the Secretary General of the party, I hope Jubilee Party will call a Congress, but Kenya must decide. The presidential system of government has failed. It has failed to unite us. It has failed to create a cohesive nation. It has failed to be accountable. Presidential system of government is where we have the winner takes it all, is where that we have the post-election violence, is where we breed personality cult within political systems, and we want to take the contest to constituencies, and anybody who gets the highest number of members of parliament, both houses, comes and becomes the prime minister and forms the government of the day. No, for a parliamentary system, for a change in the structure of government, there must be a referendum. And for now, I am not even advocating for a referendum, because for now, we are in the second term of President Uhuru Kenyatta, and he must implement his legacy. The president has got the 4 big agenda. The president has the war on corruption as his an agenda. So I am one person who will not agree to a referendum before 2022. But if all the political players, both sides, agree on a referendum, we can put it as a question in the general election and say that this general election, we will have questions on the mood of government that we want. So it's for the people of Kenya to decide. If the political class, and we want a referendum that it will not be divisive. We don't want a referendum that again is going to divide the people of Kenya. We want a referendum that all the political party players will have a consensus on. If Jubilee and NASA and the people of Kenya agree that we should change our system of government from a presidential system of government to a parliamentary system of government, and we agree on a consensus, we can put those questions during the general election. It will be cheaper, and it will be safer, and it will give the president time to finish his legacy. So as a leader of the Jubilee Party, sometimes I become selfish. So because I want our party leader to fulfill his legacy projects. And that's why, right now he's saying, let us not talk about 2022, let us not politic. So the moment he allows a referendum to take place, then he will lose his legacy project. So I am for a referendum which is less divisive, a referendum which all the political players agree on, and if the system is parliamentary, then we can do it with a general election. Secondly, if BBI will bring, certain legislative amendments, like bringing the part of the cabinet to be appointed from parliament, the creation of a chief minister, and other legislation, then that we don't need, we don't require a parliamentary system of government. But I say it for generations to come, for our children, for a stable country, for a country where everybody belongs, where resources and power is shared horizontally, and we create a national ethos. My view as Aden Duale, my view as a leader of majority, which I am ready to sell to the rank and the file members of the Jubilee party and other parties, is that unless the inclusivity we are talking about is a fake one. If inclusivity is real, then inclusivity must begin with the top seat in the country. That seat must be inclusive. It must rotate. We must have a situation where a guy, somebody from Coast becomes a prime minister. Somebody from Western Kenya becomes a prime minister. Somebody from Eastern becomes a prime minister. A Somali becomes a prime minister. A Mijikenda becomes a prime minister. A Kisi becomes a prime minister. But if we go to a presidential system of government, I can tell you we will remain subjects of the 5 big tribes, where 2 or 3 of them, if they form a coalition, the rest of us will become their subjects. And so they will be what I read when I was in school, the Animal Farm, the book called The Animal Farm in Kenya. If you want to stop the culture of animal farm in Kenya, where there are some who are more Kenyans than others, then let's go to parliamentary system and give each and every community in Kenya, big or small, from which region, let them give them an opportunity to run. And that is what is called inclusivity. If you are telling us inclusivity will be at the middle level jobs, we are not ready for it. Now, once we get the BBI report out, then the discussion will be focused. Then that will set the stage for political caucusing, both in parliament and outside parliament. But from where I sit, I think the BBI report is being hyped, and it might disappoint certain quarters within the political class. From where I sit, I don't expect a major political shift in the governance structure of this country. But no, I was disappointed in 2010 when, in Naivasha. No, I mean, but it's not the first time. I'll live with that disappointment. In 2010, we were shortchanged in Naivasha. Those of us who are for a parliamentary system of government, we were shortchanged by the big tribes. It was the first time that Raila Odinga, President Uhuru Kenyatta, and William Ruto schemed to kill. They schemed to kill the parliamentary system. PNU and ODM schemed to kill parliamentary system. So even if BBI will not recommend a parliamentary system, we are used to disappointments. We are used to, but we'll have our day. Some of us, the community where we're coming from, we are making sure that in the next 20 years, our numbers also are turned into a tyranny. Yes, we are marrying 4 wives. We are making sure that those who are 4, they get 10 kids. So we also have a plan. We have a plan to, if we can't get a parliamentary system in the next 20 years, we will also be in the league of the tyranny of numbers. So, but we have a vision. We will become president in either system. But the parliamentary system, we want everybody. Those who are not marrying 4 wives, those who want to have 1 kid, they are Kenyans. We want them to be. But if you deny us parliamentary system, I want to send a warning that be prepared. In 15, 20 years, there are certain communities that will join the bracket of the tyranny of numbers. The big 5. We thought it will be the big 6. Maybe 2, 3 we will beat them. So we will become a president. There's a way. Between 2010 and now, our politics has been more ethnic. Our politics has been more of a personality. And we have faced more violence, ethnic and political violence, in every election. How many Kenyans died in 2013? How many died in 2017? And how many will die in 2022? I mean, let's face it. I might not be there tomorrow, but today I have a moral obligation. I have a moral obligation as a leader in this country, a political leader in this country, not to be swayed by the party that I belong, not to be swayed by the region that I come from, that I must speak as a Kenyan. And we have tested a presidential system of government since independence. And we have seen it has failed. It's only a fool that will tell you that you do the same thing all the time and expect a different result. 2017 was a watershed of a presidential system, if you ask me. The watershed of ethnic politics and post-election violence was 2017, when a president was elected, sworn in, and another person was committing treason and was swearing himself in Uhuru Park. Unless we have forgotten that, that was the worst scenario that a presidential system of government could give the people of Kenya. So that is why I'm saying, let us not go that route. And that's why the president, in his wisdom, and I support him, he said, we cannot go this route. You remember there were certain sections and regions of Kenya who were saying they're not going to pay taxes. There were certain regions of this country who were saying they're not going to have the president's portrait in their businesses. There were certain regions of this country which wanted to secede. So if you go the route of a presidential system of government, and where you use the tyranny of numbers as a yardstick, I can tell you, then a time will come when certain regions of this country will say, we will secede. We cannot be subjects of the big tribes that we want to form. These counties will secede. The coast region said, we want to secede. Honorable Joe, Honorable Kingi. It's because they felt the presidential system of government was isolating them from the major decision making, was isolating them from the resource allocation, was isolating certain regions from development. And that's why the president had to be magnanimous and went and looked for Honorable Raila Odinga. And he kept on saying, until Jamhuri Mashujadi, that I want to leave a country that is united. You can't leave a country that is united under a presidential system of government, Mr. President. You can only leave a united country where everybody will have a share of the cake if we go a parliamentary system of government. That's my parting shot. No, we must, you know, this country, now we are 56 years old. We must create hope in the people of Kenya and in the generations to come that this country belongs to all of us. That this country, if you have a dream, you can achieve it. whether it is in politics, whether it is in the economy, whether it's in the private sector, regardless of your ethnicity, regardless of your region you come from, regardless of the tribe you come from. In a presidential system of government, you can dream and dream and dream until the cows come back home and you retire without not reaching the top seat of this country. And I have no interest in, but I want to retire from politics in 2022. But I'm talking for the young generation that want to come. And you saw, people are so arrogant that they're telling me I am sitting in this seat courtesy of their region or their community. I'm not sitting there. I am sitting here courtesy of the party that I belong, courtesy of the confidence that the president, our party leader, and the deputy president have in my leadership, courtesy of the rank and the file of the Jubilee party, including the over 170 Jubilee members of parliament from all regions. In fact, out of the 18 constituencies in my region, 16 of them voted for Jubilee, and they're in Jubilee. So let us have that conversation. The conversation on inclusivity, the conversation on unity of Kenya, the conversation where every Kenyan will have a piece of the cake fairly and squarely, a conversation where every kid, regardless of where he is born, to which community, to which religion, he will one day achieve his dream, either in politics or in the economics or in social status. No. I mean, I have said it, that my candidate for 2022 is William Ruto. If we adopt a parliamentary system of government, he will be our candidate as a party. If they reject my system and they remain with the presidential, he still remains my candidate. So regardless of the system, I will support William Ruto. And I think if we go parliamentary system, he will present himself. And if he is the best among our party, he becomes our leader. If he's a presidential, then he's our candidate so far. So far up to now, Jubilee, the only Jubilee candidate so far is that. And finally, there's something, I read in the social media some time back, that when we presented Mariga to the president as our party leader, there were some people who were saying that we took Mariga through the back door. Yes. One, I want to confirm that there is no back door in State House. Absolutely, there is no back door. All the gates of State House are manned. Two, the only person who does not get clearance to enter State House from the time I have become a leader of majority is the deputy president. The rest of us, we get clearance. We have to stop at the gate. Thirdly, it's President Uhuru Kenyatta who said we must have a candidate in Kibra as a political party. So from the party position, the moment you see the leader of majority, the moment you see the Secretary General of the party, and you see the president and the deputy president who are the party leader and the deputy party leader, the rest of the people who are talking are the rank and the file. They are not in the decision making. So Honorable Shebesh, I think she lost election and now we gave her a job as a CS. I think she is in the executive. She is nowhere within the rank and file and the leadership of the Jubilee Party. And I want to ask them that the office of the Deputy President is a constitutional office. So people must give the Deputy President if you don't like him personally, you must respect the office as created in the Constitution. That's my advice to those people who don't like. You might not like how Ruto looks like physically. He might not be very handsome. You might not like the way, but those of us who feel that he is a deputy president, he is a deputy party leader, and on that day I was in State House, he used Gate A. Gate A is the one that is used by foreign dignitaries, presidents. So please, don't demean State House. State House has no back door. Because if State House has a back door and you can sneak somebody, then you are demeaning the presidency, and you are, in fact, touching on the security of the head of state as provided for in the Constitution. Hiyo ni kuambia tu wale wengine ambaye hawajui sheria maneno iko.